Good morning, guys. Tom here. I just wanted to do a video about our ProPride 3P hitch that we've been using for about a year now. Not quite a year, but I guess a full towing season. We're almost getting to the end here in New York. We just have another month or two left of really useful camping time. Not too much. But I wanted to go over this because this is, this was obviously a pretty big purchase. It's a, very expensive hitch. You can buy them, used for a fairly good discount online, but the resale value on them is pretty high. So, sometimes if you can get a good deal, then on a used one, then definitely pick one up. Otherwise, buying new is, always an option as well. The little bit about the hitch. Some of the things I really like about it are that the hitch remains hooked up to the RV, and that includes the weight distribution bars, and then as you can see here, the jacks as well. Now this is the older style jacks. They just replaced it with a new style that doesn't use this bar anymore. It's got more of like a linkage system, just because this one I know did have a couple minor issues. If you use you definitely don't ever want to use an impact drill on these, because the gearing inside can get stripped out. So you want to be really gentle when you're using a drill on these. It just rotates up. It does come with a socket set as well, a little socket wrench that you can use. But I've just been using the drill. I just make sure it's in a low speed, and I started off nice and easy, so I'm not torquing on it too hard. That's worked really well, and I just love that it's all of this is still always hooked up. And I'll show you a clip of me back in the truck, and it's piece of cake. I'd say 1 out of 10 times. It can be a struggle, definitely, because if you're parked at a weird, funky angle, it can be difficult. But if you know what you're doing, the ProPride team, they kind of use an analogy of this as like a wheelbarrow, and these are the handles. So if you adjust the height here so that you can pitch the weight distribution bar up or down, that'll tilt the angle here as well. And then if the truck is kind of like at a not like front to back angle, but a sideways angle, you can adjust this higher, and then the other side lower, so you can basically tilt the hitch a little bit as well. So you just have to be a little smart in those situations. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, it's a piece of cake backing up. Honestly, I prefer it over the old method, just because you're just parking bringing the truck stinger into the hitch here, and then you're just latching these on and doing your safety chain hookup, and going from there. So a little bit about why the hitch is so important is because our RV is I think on paper it's 29 feet, but in reality with hitch and everything, I think it's just a hair over 34 feet, and we're towing that with a half-ton 2021 F-150, and then previously we were towing it with a 2018 Silverado half-ton pickup. And what happens is, even though we're well within the weight of either truck, it's such a massive RV. It's basically just a giant sail, going down the road. So anytime you've got any crosswind or trucks driving by, you get the whole, the expression, the tail wagging the dog. So what happens is, as trucks go by, or there's a crosswind, is this will actually tilt back and forth. This has a lot of play. It almost reminds me of like the old farm tractors, where the hitch kind of had a bunch of play back and forth, just not quite as severe. So what happens is that the RV actually kind of is able to move over a little bit in its lane without transferring any of that to the truck. So it's really the first time we ever used it. It was actually in the middle of a windstorm, and it was let's see, what was it? It was 55 mile an hour gusts, and I think it was 20 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds. And even on the old Silverado, I didn't even feel it. The whole white knuckle, two-handed driving, kind of went away, and I'm back to very comfortable, relaxed driving. Even I get on the highway now, and I never would have done that with the old hitch. So it's just been definitely a life-changing hitch, and just, you know, even though it's expensive, it's, you know, absolutely worth every penny. You know, and you'll see a lot of other reviews on that too. I really haven't found any, you know, poor reviews, other than, you know, I've seen a couple videos, or you know, one video that I think it was like the yoke or something like that it had rusted out or something, but that was before they were using robotic welding machines and everything, and they were able to overnight him the replacement part at the campground, and he was up and running, you know, very quickly. So you know, I haven't had to do any warranty work yet. Other than my wrench was missing from the box, but that's not too big of a deal. They, you know, sent me one out, and, you know, I got that in almost no time. Installation was a piece of cake. The only thing I did have to use, you know, I did have to get some safety chain extensions, just because now the hitch is a little, you know, as you can see, it's instead of the truck hooking up here, it's hooking up here. So it is a little further away. Which is actually a great thing, because I love the fact that I can actually open my tailgate now while the camper's hooked up, and it opens all the way without, it used to rest right here, which, you know, was kind of a pain in the butt. So yeah, I mean, everything so far has been working really well. We've had it for almost a full season, and you know, I really can't complain. I think one thing that I might do is the new truck settles a little bit more than my old Silverado. So, and the reason is because my old Silverado, I had helper springs in there. And what you can do is, there's actually, I don't have the hitch right here, or the stinger, but there's a washer. And that extra washer will actually, it'll tilt the stinger down a little bit more. And what that does is it gives the weight distribution bars, they won't have to go as high. So right now I really have to crank these, you know, almost like 9.5 inches up to get the front end of the truck back to where it should be. So by adding an extra washer in, that'll basically just change that angle for the weight distribution. So that'll put a little more pressure on the front of the truck. So that'll just help keep it level. The other thing I did was I did put a lock on the ball hitch. That way nobody can just come and, you know, pop this up and then, you know, drop the hitch off. As far as security, you know, it's almost got built-in security, because unless they've got the stinger, then they're not gonna, you know, haul away with the camper. And then on the stinger itself, I have a lock on that, so, you know, it's kind of, you know, has built-in security just because it's so different. There are, once a year, there are some grease fittings right here. Yep. So you just there's one on the other side as well. So you just want to make sure you know, get some, you know, a grease gun and fill those up once a year, and then you should be good to go. Basically maintenance free. I definitely would keep it covered in the winter. They do sell a cover on their website. I've just been using kind of a tarp for now, but I may just purchase that at some point, just so that, you know, the hitch is all out of the elements and the snow, and then the, you know, all the jacks are also, you know, out of the snow. So next I'm going to show how to back the truck in with the stinger. You know, like I said, 9 times out of 10 it's a piece of cake, and this was one of them. So really, you don't even need to get the hitch all the way in. There's that gradiated part. You know, as long as you get that pretty close, you'll actually be able to draw it in the rest of the way. And then you use the included socket breaker bar that came with the hitch. And then you'll kind of feel like a soft pop. That's how you know that it's in all the way. And then you just put in the pin to, you know, just for safety, to make sure that doesn't pop out. And like I said, it's, you know, it's easier than hooking up a normal ball hitch. So here what I'm doing is raising the hitch of the trailer up, and that just, what that does, you know, you could do that for any weight distribution hitch, where you know, by raising it up, it actually will have less pressure on the weight distribution bars, and, you know, for example, your drill, or even if you have hand, you know, pried up, you know, the weight distribution bars on like any other hitch, it just makes it easier. So here I had the clutch engaged on the drill. Don't do that because it'll put unneeded stress on the gears inside the the jacks there. So so just have it in drill mode, and then just the low speed on the drill is the best way to do that. And then next, what I wanted to show was I just added like a zip tie with like a Velcro strap to keep the 7-pin cable, up out of the way, just so that the cable didn't get pinched inside the hitch or anything going around a sharp corner. Because one thing that's really nice about this hitch is that it can do 87-degree turns, I believe, which is great. And then, like I said, I love the fact that I can just drop the drop the tailgate down without it hitting the RV or anything like that. Just added free benefit. And then lastly, what I wanted to show is just how level the truck is. It's still up in the back a little bit, which is great. Yeah, that's all I had for today. So if you guys like this video, like it, and please subscribe to the channel, and have a good one. That you can, an extra washer that you can put in, and that will